Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a really powerful approach that's shaking up education as we know it. We're looking at how design thinking, inspired by the amazing work at SNS institutions, can create a totally new and better way to learn. All right, let's get into it. So let's just start with a question. And it's not about test scores or tech, it's about a feeling. Seriously, what if the first step in planning any lesson wasn't about the subject matter, but about the actual student? What if we started by really, truly getting their world? Because let's be real, this is the situation in pretty much any classroom you can think of. You've got some students who are getting it in a snap, and you've got others who are struggling, maybe too scared to even say they're falling behind. And just like that, you have a classroom with a dozen different speeds, which, can easily lead to unequal learning. It's a problem everywhere. So to fix something this fundamental, we don't just need a new teaching method. We need a whole new way of looking at the problem. We need to start thinking like designers. And this is the key distinction right here. Design thinking, it isn't some rigid checklist you follow. It's a mindset. It's that curious, creative, people-first engine that really powers every single new idea, every lesson plan, every interaction. Okay, so how does this whole mindset thing actually turn into action? Well, it follows this really clear 5-step roadmap that takes us all the way from figuring out the problem to building a solution we can actually try. Let's walk through it. All right, here they are, the 5 big stages of our journey. Empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. But don't think of this as just a straight line. It's more like a cycle of listening, creating, and making things better. This is our guide. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here with empathy. This is where teachers are actively watching how students are actually engaging with the material. It's about listening, not just to their right answers, but to their questions, their hesitations, their frustrations. It's all about connecting with them as individuals, because the big truth here is that every single student learns in their own way. So once we've done that listening and we actually understand their needs, then we can define the real problem. And the problem isn't that some students are slow. The real problem is that the system is too rigid. So our goal, the thing we're trying to solve, becomes this. How do we create a learning experience that's flexible enough for absolutely everyone? And now for the really fun part. Ideate. This is where you just brainstorm like crazy, no bad ideas. Forget what's always been done. What if we made visual summaries for the visual thinkers? Or, hey, what about a peer tutoring system where students who get it faster can actually teach others? Or maybe quick little digital recap videos that students can watch whenever they want. I mean, the sky's the limit here. A great idea is one thing, but you've got to see if it actually works, right? That's what prototyping is all about. You take one of those cool ideas and you build a small, testable version of it. So for example, you build just one blended module on one topic. Inside it, students can use different resources, go at their own speed, but they still come together to work on things. It's a super low-risk way to see what's really connecting. And finally, we test. But hold on, this isn't your typical high-stress final exam. We're reimagining testing too. Instead of a test that only measures what you've memorized, what if we use something like reflective logs? Places where students can just write about what clicked for them and what they're still struggling with. See? This totally shifts the focus from chasing perfection to just making progress day by day. So, what happens when you do all this? The result is huge. Students don't feel like just another face in the crowd anymore. They feel seen, they feel heard, and suddenly, learning stops being this big competition and starts becoming this shared, inclusive experience for everybody in the room. But a process this powerful doesn't just happen in a vacuum. It needs the right environment, the right culture to really grow. So let's take a look at the engine that makes all of this possible, inspired by the incredible culture over at SNS. And right at the very heart of it all are these 3 core values: sincerity in everything they do, nobility in their purpose, and a commitment to service. And these aren't just some words on a poster. They're the real living principles that make a people-first approach like design thinking even possible. And those values come to life through 5 key pillars that create this whole holistic experience. Yeah, it starts with CLT, strong academic learning, but it goes so much further. You've got SCD for skill and career growth, making sure students are actually ready for what's next. CFC is all about nurturing creativity and innovation, the real soul of design thinking. IIPC builds those vital industry connections, bridging the classroom to the real world. And SRI instills social responsibility. It's a whole ecosystem for growth. And I love this slide because it shows you the beautiful balance they've struck. On one side, you have the foundation, the why, the 3 Ps: purpose, process, and people. And on the other, you have the practical skills, the how, the 3 Cs: curiosity, logic, and technical skill. It's this perfect marriage of human values and real-world smarts. And all of this energy, this innovative culture, it has a home. It's an innovation hub called Spine. And just listen to their mission: redesigning common minds and business towards excellence. That tells you everything, right? This isn't just about changing a few classes. It's about transforming how we all think and tackle challenges, no matter what field we're in. So, when you put this all together, what does it add up to? Well, it's way more than just a single story. It's a really compelling vision for what the future of education could look like for all of us. And this really is the mission statement, isn't it? The goal is not just to pass down information, it's to fundamentally reimagine what education can be, and to use empathy and innovation as the main tools to get there. And we're going to end on this idea, because it's so powerful. A roadmap isn't some document you can just print out and follow. The true roadmap for change, for innovation, for a better future, it's written in people. It's in the teachers who make the choice to really listen, and it's in the students who finally feel seen. Just think, what would happen if every school started seeing its people as its real roadmap?